This thing might look weird, but oh my goodness, you're going to get so much wool out of it, you're not going to know what to do with it. I'm going to show you how to make a one chunk wool farm that's got all 16 wool colours and will run no matter where in the world or what dimension you're in. It'll just keep on chugging and chugging and chugging. It doesn't need you anywhere near it. And it works beautifully in Minecraft 1.21.5 and above. Let me show you how to make it block by block. These are the items that you're going to need to be able to make this farm. Now please be aware that a lot of these are aesthetics, so you don't necessarily need all of them. This is how I have specifically made it. Those grass blocks at the top, that's how many grass blocks there's going to be at the end, but you can use a lot of dirt mixed in with that grass because dirt is a lot easier to get. And when I say loads of shears, well, that's up to you. You're going to need at least 16, but I recommend you get plenty. Let's crack on and make this thing. And it's all going to fit inside this one chunk. You know me, I love a chunk. This is your initial setup. That purple square, we're going to dig that down 7 blocks. This cyan square, that's going to be a border like a wall or something like that. The white area, that can be any block you want, maybe some flooring or something. The yellow rectangle that's 3 by 2 there, we're going to dig that down 1 block. And the green remaining inside our red border, that has got to be grass. Yeah. I know it looks like a Minecraft fried egg, and now you've seen it, you can never unsee it. See? Fried egg. I've done all that except for the purple square, which we'll do in a minute. Now you can use dirt as long as you've got 1 grass block on either side that can propagate itself right across the entire area. Or alternatively, either use a grassy area or lob a load of grass blocks in. But that's what you should end up with now. Get yourself a lantern, and a lantern is better than a torch here because a lantern has got that 1 extra light distance. Those 4 corners, that'll light up the entire floor area. Then in the middle 2, you're going to place a chest there and a chest there. So you've got a double chest. 1 chest click on top, 1 chest click on the side. So you've got another double chest. You are then going to place shift click or hop it into the back of that and the back of that, into the back of that, and the back of that, and then 2 hoppers into the back of those 2 first hoppers. That's our collection system. So you should have something that looks like that. And if you want to go deeper than that with your collection system, you go for your life. Just feed in more hoppers into the back and more chests down as far as you want. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to have 2 double chests. You're then going to come and place a powered rail in some very specific spots. Come across to where your purple square is, go in 1, place a powered rail right there, so that is 2 away from the wood. So on this side, again, 2 away from the wood, powered rail right there, so that is symmetrical. You're then going to come up from 1 next to that, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And on the 7th one, which should be level with this opening here, you're going to place a powered rail. You're going to miss a gap, place a powered rail, and the same on the other side. You're going to place 1 in, powered rail, miss a gap, powered rail like that. And then you're going to come up next to your wood all the way along, powered rail right in the top corner of both of those. Come in 1, powered rail, just like that. You're then going to get a redstone torch, and you're going to place a redstone torch between each of the powered rails there, like that, and then 1 right next to the powered rail at the end. You're then going to get some normal rails, and you're going to link up your powered rails all the way up to the top like that. You're going to come across your wood, then across and up to your torch or lantern. You're going to come down, join up these rails here, come back and around, go up, join this rail, come around here, join that rail, and then on this side you're going to do the same, come up like that, join that rail, and come there and come there. Now at this point you've got to be really careful because you want to make sure that your rails join up the way you want them to. So pick one side, so I'll just go this side, it doesn't matter which one. Place a rail and then a rail coming in towards the hopper, and then shift click a rail on top of the hopper, on top of that hopper, that hopper, that hopper, then the ground there, and then join it up again. So that means the rail's going up, around, over the hoppers, down and back across again. So you should now have an area that looks just like this. It's now time to deal with this purple block. You are going to dig it out. That's 1, and then you're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Place down a soul sand, and then your 6 ice back up to the top like that. You're then going to place your trapdoor against that, and flap it up. This is going to be your chunk loader, so no matter where you are in the world, even if the Nether and the end is your home, this is going to continue to produce wool until the end of time. Next step is to dig out your ice. Using a pick, it will turn to water. This bit's tricky if you want to get inside, and then keep digging down all the way down to that soul sand. When you get to the soul sand, that's going to create a water column that pushes you right to the top. That's a good thing, because at this point we're going to throw an ender pearl in, but we don't want it to hit the bottom, we just want it to stay there. Using a temporary block, place a block in front of your hole just like that, then get your ender pearl and try and throw it into the corner, kind of the bottom corner here, the opposite side of that trap door. That's going to hopefully be your best shot. If I lob that now, yep, so that has floated back up. At this point, you do not want to take any chances. Don't touch the ender pearl. Don't let anything else touch the ender pearl. And for goodness sake, don't shut the trapdoor. If you do, that will teleport you on top of the trapdoor and you've got to do it all over again. Also, it's worth mentioning that if you die, you're going to have to reset this because the ender pearl will disappear. So for safety, what I like to do is place a fence post there and a fence post there, and just purely for symmetry, a fence post on either side as well. It just protects you from that ender pearl. Next up, we are going to take some dirt and we're going to place dirt there, there, and there. You can see that it comes above that rail because the rail's taking up the entirety of that area, not just a flat bit, so it goes on top. And then we've got to kind of build ourselves out. We're going to place one more dirt there, and then we're going to come in another 4, and then we're going to come around that ender pearl there and pop that right like that. And then we're going to come along one more time, but we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. So you can see if I just come up on top here, we have got these 2 open. We're then going to click 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and also 1 and 2 here. So we've got a gap of 3, and then we're going to come all the way across 5 like that. So we've got ourselves a gap 1, 2, 3. We're then going to increase this 5 by another 2. So 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2, and then we're going to create another gap of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, and then similarly over here 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to cap it off all the way across, and then 1 more, not 2 more, just 1 more like that. So we've got a whole row open. We are then going to come across and we're going to repeat that on this other side. So you should get something that looks like this. Now what's really important here is you could use grass if you want to, but dirt's a lot easier to get by, right, isn't it? And this is going to propagate from the grass at the bottom up to the top. Over time, this dirt will turn into grass. And at this point, we get our observers. We're going to place 1 observer there, so the redstone bum is facing backwards. 1 there, so the redstone bum is facing backwards. Come all the way around there and there. Repeat again on this side. There, 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 and there. So we've got little redstone bums facing all the way across. You can check this. You can see the little redstone face is right there. That means they're looking at this one, this one, this one, this one, and similarly on this side. We're going to place a block between the redstone bums. That is going to capture the redstone fart and shove it onto this piece of redstone dust right here. We're going to do it again on the other side. So you should get something that looks a little bit like this. You're then going to get on top of your observers a dispenser. So let's come down here and I'm going to make the dispenser look the way the redstone face is looking like that. So if I get my dispenser, stick it on top there and on top there, I need to come around the other side, there and there. So that's looking at that one, there and there. So that's looking at those 2, and here, which is looking at those 2. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And this point now, you can cover over these little extra sections. I just like to keep one open so as I can keep an eye on that little ender pearl. We are then going to surround the block that the dispenser is looking at with glass. So 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. That surrounds that block. 1 there and 1 there, which surrounds that block. We're then going to come along the side. We're going to go 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, which surrounds those 2 blocks, and another 1 there, 1 there, another 1 there, which surrounds those 2, and then just quickly finishing off this side like that, which surrounds both of those. So they are all surrounded. I'm going to do the same on this side in just a minute. You can see the grass is already starting to propagate across. But now we're going to get more dirt, and we're going to place dirt all the way around the top in an entire layer, right the way across, except for the holes where you've got those dispensers looking. So there, and there. That's going to be a hole, but everywhere else we're going to shove in some dirt. Again, if you want to speed up this process, feel free to put in just a little bit of grass just to increase that rate of propagation. But you don't have to do that. The dirt will propagate eventually. So I'm going to do that on that side, and I'm going to repeat it again on that side. What is, however, a nice idea is in the middle. So this middle bit is right here. There's no dispenser looking into it, but there is a hole. I like to put a lantern in there. It just shoves some light up and down the entire structure. And then what you can also do is stick a lantern at each end as well, and that makes sure that you've got light in all of those sheep pens. It just makes it a little bit more pleasant for them. I'm not completely inhumane, you know. So you should now have something that looks a little bit like that, with a 3-layer grass sandwich. Over time, all 3 layers of these will become completely grass, and that's a good thing because we need as much grass around that feeding pod where we're going to put our sheep as possible. And let me explain why. We want that section of grass that's in front of that dispenser to regenerate its grass as soon as possible. It's going to look for other grass blocks around it, both underneath, next to, and above. And the more there are, the faster that grass is going to regenerate in front of the dispenser. This farm is close to regenerating that grass on average every 30 seconds, which maximizes your wool. I have my really good mate Ray's works for the inspiration for this video. What he did was made a video on how these grass things work, which actually taught me something. I really recommend Ray. I'm going to stick the link in the description below if you don't already know it. But this farm is totally inspired by him. We now need to fill in the space between these 2 sides, and I like to use the same wood that I've got for the floor. So let me just do that. And I'm also going to build up the walls so they are level with that top level of grass and dirt. But I've left the holes in the side there so you can peek in, should you want to the sheep that are going to be our slaves. Sorry, I mean our wool harvesters inside. I've not done it on the back because we've got a gap. The reason we got that gap is for maintenance, not a gap at the top, but we've not got any windows here. Inside, we need a little gap for maintenance at the back. Should we end up, I don't know, messing up and having to get in behind here, we've got a gap all the way along the side that we can get in behind. That makes it a lot easier. And at this point, and it's totally not necessary, I just like to fill in these bits of glass so it's like a continuous window, if you like, all the way across. I just think it looks nicer, but you don't have to do it. It serves absolutely no additional purpose whatsoever. It just looks a little bit more structural rather than having these gaps. So I do like to do that. And at this point, we can start bringing in some sheep. I've just created a little bit of a stairway up out of temporary blocks onto the roof of our farm. The sheep will follow us up, and we're just going to coax them into the hole using our lead, and down they fall. We can then right click on that and repeat that 15 more times. We've now got 16 sheep in our farm, but they're mostly white. And if you want all 16 colours, then all you need to do is dye each of them one colour, and they end up giving you the wool of that colour, which saves you a fortune in dyes later on. Now, obviously, if you want loads and loads of white wool, just leave them white or black or whatever. But if you want the different colours, get your different dyes and make sure you're dyeing all of them, all of the colours of the rainbow, and we can then get loads and loads of different coloured wool. There's an orange one there, there's a yellow one there. Let's come over and do our green ones at the end. And we don't want your grey because we've already got a green one like that. So your farm should now be full of all these lovely coloured sheep that are going to give you lovely coloured wool. And now you need to place a trapdoor over each of these. Now, in a perfect world, you could shove in a little bit of grass, but I've got to be honest, you can't get grass or dirt on top of the sheep because they get in the way. That would increase ever so slightly the rate of replenishment of your grass, but it doesn't make that big of a deal. So we've got trapdoors because we need to get a few more rails on top. First thing is we've got to get some more hoppers in, and I'm going to dig out these grass blocks. They've done their job, and shift click a hopper going directly into each of these dispensers. I left these grass blocks on first because what they did is they helped make the grass grow slightly faster across the top. Right there, and click there. So I'm just going to deal with this side first, and we'll repeat it over there. And then get yourself a rail. Place a rail there, there, and there. Shift click there, shift click there, there and there. Shift click there, shift click there, there and there. then get a powered rail there and there, and then come across, another power rail there, come across, another powered rail there, and then the rest of these are going to come all the way around, shift clicking on the hoppers, so as you create a complete circuit. You're then going to put a redstone torch there and a redstone torch there. Repeat that on the other side. Now, I can hear you shouting, Avo, this is a lot of iron. And you're right, it is a lot of iron. But don't worry, I've got you totally covered. There is a one chunk iron farm that produces shed loads. I've just put the link in the description. The thumbnail, hopefully I've edited it in, is on the screen now. Go and take a look at that. Get yourselves loads of iron. You're never going to need to worry about iron again. So all of these hoppers and these rails, easy peasy. Which is just as well, because we're about to use some more. We are going to place a chest there, and shift click a chest into the side of it, and then I'm going to come to the other side here, a chest there, and shift click a chest into the side of it. These are going to be our loading chests, but that's no good because we've got to be able to load them from a single source. So hopper on the side, hopper on the side. You're then going to put another chest, and you're going to place a chest on the hopper and a chest into the side of it. Come around here, chest into the hopper, chest on the side of it. You're then going to get another hopper. One of them is going to go into that chest, one of them is going to go into that chest, and then you're going to get another double chest on top of that. So that double chest feeds into both of these hoppers. Half of it goes that way, half of it goes that way, which means that goes that way, and that goes that way. You can then fill up this chest with as many shears as you possibly can. So I'm just going to fill it up. What's going to happen once I've filled this chest up with shears, again, more iron, but it's not going to matter because of that iron farm. I'll empty that out, and eventually what will happen is you're going to get some shears in there and some shears in there. And you'll keep access to this top so you can always refill that top chest. We are nearly done, but we are going to need a minecart with hopper. What you're going to do is you're going to place a minecart with hopper on either side. It doesn't matter which one you go, and you're going to give it a little nudge. That is going to send it around your circuit, and it is going to collect up anything that ends up being inside these little sheep pods. Now at the moment nothing's inside them, but when it eventually gets some, you'll end up with some wool inside these two chests. You're also going to come up so you can load in these things, and you're going to place a minecart with hopper there and give it a nudge, a minecart hopper there, give it a nudge, and that is now going to load up your dispensers every time. So if I just click on the minecart with hopper there, you can see it picks up a load of the shears, and it goes over every time. And I'll just click on it again, picks up some shears, and it empties out into the other hoppers. This is a really simple way of being able to replenish everything. And yes, I know, iron, but I've told you about the iron farm, right? And within a few seconds, this one here, this minecart with hopper here, is coming up, unloading everything, and we're already getting a load of wool. And it will put wool into both. For some reason it does put some into that chest there, but you get most of it in the bottom. And functionally you are done, but of course if you want to, you can get it a little bit more aesthetic. You can just go super simple if you want, placing yourself blocks all the way along next to that rail so you don't see the rail. Maybe you think rails are ugly. I completely understand that. Obviously be careful of that ender pearl. If you slap that, you're going to end up suffocating in some dirt, and we don't want that for you. And then you're going to come next to your chest there and your chest there, and if you want you can just come across the top, get yourself some stairs, stair there, stair there. If you wanted to, you could put a door in here perhaps if you wanted to be able to access it at the back, so as you can come in and out and get in and out of a door. I think that's perfectly fine. You could stick in a lantern there and a lantern there, and then you can come outside, and this is a bit of an open door, this one, isn't it? So let's grab ourselves some spruce stairs there and there, and in our door on the inside, and we've got ourselves a nice double door like that. I think that works really, really well. And yeah, I agree, the thing on the top looks a little bit ugly, but that doesn't mean you can't cover that up as well. It's really begging out for a gable roof. I'm not going to build one, but you totally can if you want to. The only other thing I would recommend you do is you put a light on each of these corner blocks here, because that's going to illuminate the entirety of the top of your farm. And if you're illuminating the entirety of the top of your farm, you're not going to get any mobs spawning up here. We could really end your fun really quick. So there you have a one chunk wool farm that is going to give you so much wool, you're probably not going to know what to do with it. Seriously, you want some beds? You can have beds for days. If you want to build redstone circuitry, Go for your life. You could make an entire computer if you wanted to. Maybe you just want it for the colours. Whatever you want it for, you're going to have absolutely stacks. This has been running for maybe 10 minutes. We've already got all of these different colours of wool, plus a load of them up the top as well. There's all 10 minutes, people. Seriously. Let me know what other one chunk farms you might like me to design for you, and I'll have a go. Maybe I'll go and get inspiration from Ray's works again, or maybe I'll make it up myself. I don't know. Just let me know what you fancy and I'll try it for you. Also, if you've not already done it, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you've enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. It really helps me out and doesn't cost you a bean. And I will look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.